I don't think she's a loyal friend at all. I think she talks shit about people, and that's her MO. And you know, I gotta tell you, she said to me a dozen times not to trust you.
Wait, she told you not to trust me?
She said it to me several times. Teresa's not your real friend, and even Melissa. She told me, don't trust her.
I don't understand, like, why she would say that.
Whew. Well, it was before we were, going to the communion. And basically it was about, she said, you know, that I had said things about our glam team, that, you know, I shouldn't trust them. And
Margaret's exact words were, you can't trust anyone. That means Melissa, that means Teresa, that means everybody that's working on you, and those were her exact words.
So when you said, you know, don't trust anyone, did you even mention any names at all?
No, I just said, she goes, I don't even know who to trust. Like, I don't trust anyone, you talk too much. Because she was, you know, she spews everything, you know, whoever's in her house, she says crazy things constantly. And I was being dead serious.
I think she was really done with me anyway. She had used me to the point where she couldn't use me anymore, and she moved on and latched herself onto Melissa, so she didn't need me anymore to be a part of the group. And I think that she wanted to manipulate me to only being next to her, so she would have full control over me. She is a bit of a control freak. I mean, nobody cheats on their husband for 4.5 years and doesn't have control issues.
And then she went on, I'm so happy, you know, that I married Marty. You told me not to marry him. I did say that. And that's what I said in those text messages. You know, that's what I said to her. And I said, yeah, I did say that because you told me chronically that you were unhappy. You change your mind every day. And I said, if you're not truly happy, don't marry him. And then I just wrote to her something smart. Enjoy your bed for one.
Why do you twist what I said and spin it to Teresa? Giving is a word that you put on it.
I think that was a little turning point of my relationship with Danielle. I knew in the back of my head that I wanted to put them both in front of each other and really like hash it out because no one would be able to lie. And when Danielle pretty blatantly admits like, oh yeah, well she really didn't say that, but I said that she did, to me I was like, uh-oh, like that's going down a road that I don't want anything to do with. Because I think she'd prefer if Teresa and I didn't like Margaret because her and Margaret were having issues.
Yeah, I remember exactly what I said to Danielle. I said, don't trust anybody. I said, if you had real friends, they would have been at your bridal party, not the three of us. I said, you should have had your lifelong friends in the bridal party.
What were you asking? Did I believe Danielle when she was saying that? Is that
Do you
what
believe that she exaggerates the things that we say?
Do you think
or
that
someone
she twists things around?
Oh, does she twist things around? I don't know.
Tell the truth, Teresa. Stop.
Do I feel like she twists things around? No, I feel like if she says something, there's a reason why she's saying it. She might exaggerate it a little bit. So, whatever.
I just know what to expect from her. Like if she told me somebody was saying something about me, I think about 50 times over before I even would say it to another person. That's all I'm asking her for.
Oh, if yeah,
that's what they're trying to say.
Oh yeah,
you know how she.
He said he was gonna tattoo your name on him.
What? Frank Catania? Big Frank?
I got my father, my mother, my 2 children. I'm gonna get your name put on me.
He goes, because when I die, I want to take everybody with me. Frank, he's so sentimental. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think after everything I've been through with Joe, he needs to add my name with the 4 girls. I'm serious.
He wants to put it, he's got 2 hearts with chains on his hip. First of all, that's the stupidest tattoo in the world. I want it on his shoulder next to Gabby. He's like, no, I'm gonna put it next to the 2 hearts. I'm like, on your hip, that's gross. I don't want it there. So we actually had this argument the other day.
On his hip, your name? What if his girlfriend's giving him some, you know?
She don't care. I saw her last night, she doesn't care.
She's gonna be looking at Dolores when she's pecking down there.
Where are you gonna do it? On your head?
I don't know my head. Yeah,
I would love.
You know?
Listen, if you got any balls, if you're any kind of man, you would get it right on your penis head, right there. I want to be there for that.
I think I would ignore anything he says.
No.
Why ahead?
I want to see it.
Dude, but her name's got 7 letters.
And if you did that, I want to see you
just
ever
do
get on
one
a date
D.
again.
Do a D.
We already talked about this, and I'll be honest.
You don't have to say Dolores.
I'll be honest with you.
I
probably
got any balls.
What I'm going to put is, when it's flaccid, all you see is D-O-L-L, doll. Right? And then when I get excited, you see Dolores. Okay? All right? The whole thing right now. Okay?
I'm dying. I want to come. I want to watch the whole thing.
I don't want to come.
No, I want to be there. I'm going to
Dude, I got to be honest. I'd be a little embarrassed, man. Because honestly, bro, if you see me sitting there getting a tattoo on my penis,
I'll do it for you. I want to put 2 eyes on it.
So what's gonna
I want
happen?
to tell Melissa when at night I'm going to pull my pants down. I want it to look at you like I'm here for you.
Right?
So I'll do it with you. I'll do it with you.
On my penis, I'll write out Dolores. On your penis, all you can put is Melissa's initials. All right? MG. That's all you're gonna fit. All right?
Wait, what is that?
Why did she get a knife and I didn't?
It's actually called a hunchad, which is an ancient Turkish dagger that people use when they wanted to stab people in the back. So I figured I can give you something tangible so the next time I could see you coming.
Honey, I don't need your knife to backstab. I don't want your passive-aggressive attitude there.
Jennifer, shine like a star here.
When I went to the Grand Bazaar in Turkey, we saw a store that had all these Turkish daggers, and a Turkish dagger is referenced to a lot in pop culture and the music as a way of stabbing someone in the back. And when I saw it, it was actually very beautiful.
Well, when she first handed it to me, I'm so naive. I'm like, I think I had a drink already, and I was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Like, I really thought that I mean, I don't know what goes on in Turkey. I thought that maybe this is what they said. This is the thing to get. You know, she gave me a dagger, and like, it was a really beautiful, like a heavy dagger. So I'm like, thank you.
That might have been the best gift out of
Right, and then when she was like, so next time you could stab me in the front instead of stabbing me in the back, I was like, oh, I see what you're doing. I threw that shit right back at her.
And I thought it would be a funny dig towards her by giving her the dagger. I had
I loved
idea.
it. I love it. Yeah, it was the best.
You're like, so this is a
I
passive
don't want
aggressive
it.
dagger.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great gift.
But at first I had no idea.
I thought it was the nicest gift out of all the girls. It looked the most expensive.
Yeah, she definitely spent the most money on that gift.
You didn't even get a gift.
I didn't even get it. It got lost with the mail order bride.
I think so. That's what she said. It got lost in the mail order
Mine got
bride.
lost with the mail order bride.
First of all, I didn't even know what a mail order bride was. Like, I was like, what is she saying?
At the end of the day, you know, I just wanted her to, I wanted to make a statement that the article still had bothered me because we hadn't really talked it through at that point. We spoke a little bit about it at Melissa's son party, and then on the bus when I was giving everybody my gifts, I felt it was a great way to let her know that I'm not over it.
And did she end up keeping it, or did you take it?
No, she kept it. She kept it.
Okay.
I think once she sincerely, she didn't apologize for writing the article, and she apologized for hurting my feelings, which for me, that counts too. I'm not one of those that I'm like, oh, you can't apologize for hurting someone's feelings. Yes, because she's not going to apologize for what she did. She wrote an article. She knew what she was doing. I get what she's saying, that she didn't, in black and white, say literally that my kids were spoiled. That is the impression that is given throughout the whole, that's the theme of the article, is can giving your kids too much create spoiled children? Jennifer gives children too much.
I'm sure her kids are not deprived.
The impression is there.
I mean,
it's
right?
understood.
I'm sure her kids are
And
not deprived.
no, not at all.
And I like when she gave it back. She was like, no.
I felt like we were playing hot potato when she was giving it back. I don't want it. You take it. No, I bought it for you. She's like, take your cheap bag. I'm like, it's for you.
Oh, it's a knife! That's a knife! This is a knife! I don't want to see any daggers getting thrown on this bus. I mean, I've been through hell and back sometimes with this group of girls, and I don't want to see any daggers.
I put the cover on it.
She was madly in love with this guy who was, married at the time, and she thought he was going to leave his wife.
See a pattern here. I mean,
what's the pattern?
Your mother is with a married man, and you're with a married man, even though you happen to be married. That there's a pattern.
Drunk Jennifer, is missing a filter a little bit. That's old news. I own my stuff. I'm with my soulmate. Joe and I are meant to be together. My ex-husband's over it. It's tale old as time. I was meant to be with Joe. I admitted it.
By the way, I think it happens in a lot of marriages.
Yes.
She's just vocal enough and open enough to admit, like, listen, I did it, and there's probably a line of women that could line up around her. But the fact that she admits it and talks about it and says, this is what my story is, I think is brave of her. She's owning it. She's not saying, like, that it was right or wrong. It's her story.
It's my story.
I think it was a little overboard. But
I don't think it was overboard because she started with the mail order bride.
Mail order bride's a little, snide comment. It was just like, then she takes a pot shot at my mother. That just wasn't nice.
Did she apologize about it, though? She apologized on the bus, I think.
No, she said it was a joke. on the bus. She was like, oh, don't take it so seriously. It was a joke.
Yeah, but you
what
don't
I
say something
remember,
like
this
that.
is the thing. Marge was talking about her mother, and she was telling about how the last love that her mother had was a relationship that was
A long
15 some odd
relationship,
years,
yeah.
where the man was married and he never left his wife. So that bothered me. That bothered me that she said that, and that initiated me to say to Teresa, like, I see a pattern here. And when I said that, I didn't mean to get a reaction from her the way that I did, but when she said, what do you mean about that? It's like, you know what? You're telling me that your mother's last love was someone who was married and he was with your mother for 15 years, and you want me to feel bad that that man never left his wife? How about that wife who probably stayed with her husband all that time, knowing that he was probably cheating, and stayed for whatever reason that she had, either for her kids or her livelihood? And I feel that children always learn by example. If you grow up in a household that it's okay to be with married people and it's okay to cheat, then you grow up thinking the respect or sanctity of marriage is not there anymore. So that's really what initiated that whole conversation. When she said about her mother, I was like, wow, okay, I see a pattern
Kudos
here.
to Jennifer for speaking her mind.
And when she said, what do you
might have
mean
kept it to
by
myself.
that? That's when I said, like, I can't relate to people who have affairs with other married people. Now, I'm not naive to say that people don't cheat. Do whatever you want behind closed doors, but to the f***ing grave. Okay, you don't want to put it on page 6. You don't put it on blast.
Don't put it on blast. Well, we're on Housewives. That's what you do. You put the shit on blast.
Right.
Hello.
See, I've been in the rest of the world a long time. She's coming out of that
Yeah.
old school culture.
Yes, me too.
Yeah. I've been divorced 20 years. I would have probably went nuts on her, being like, that's not okay. I would have gotten sick. I would have said everything she said. But I also realized that the rest of the world is not like the way I was raised.
I used to be like you.
I
used to be
feel
like, oh,
like-
that's so wrong, blah, blah, blah,
I just feel like
Right?
when she said
unless
she
you
ran away with,
unless
you agree with me?
Right, listen, we're not Margaret's mother. We don't know what the circumstances were.
Right.
Why she was with
Margaret's
him.
mother was in love with that man.
Right. What he was saying
And
to her.
that's why she said-
I'm not judging.
people always have their reasons.
Men are full of shit.
Totally, 100%.